I want you to think about something. The numbers vary a little bit, but depending on the numbers, anywhere from 85 to 90% of Americans already have some level of health care coverage. 85 to 90%. Let's just go with 90. President Obama says the government health care plan will cover 97%. Okay? So we're going to spend $1 trillion to move the needle 7%. That is obscenely ridiculous. And I was talking to, well, he's 20 now. I was going to say my teenage producer. I was saying, I remember the day when $1 trillion was a lot of money. And he said, boy, you must be old. I said, well, that was last year. That's how quickly things have changed. The great Everett Dirksen, the senator from Illinois, coined $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Pretty soon you're talking real money. Now it's $1 trillion here and $1 trillion there. And pretty soon you're talking real money. You know, you're also here today because you understand, and I've said this at every one of these events that I've spoken, you're here today because you understand that your greatest freedom is the freedom to fail. And oftentimes, when I say that, people don't understand. What do you mean, freedom to fail? You fail or succeed by taking risks. This country is built on taking risks. This country is built on risking our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. That's what was pledged in the Declaration of Independence to one another. Just think about that for a moment. Our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. They were risking everything to build this country. Those who went west in the next century, just think about that. If they didn't risk their lives, everything they had, because they felt there was something on the other side of this continent, we would be from sea to shining Mississippi. Just think about that. Limiting risk limits reward. Limiting risk limits opportunity. Right now you have a government that thinks it can take the risk out of everything. If you take the risk out of everything, you take the reward out of everything. And that's when you stop growing. It is that spirit of risk and reward that has built this country. It sustains this country, and it must be the future of this country. And you are here today to say, we want that spirit back. This country cannot continue to grow if it doesn't grow by people who are willing to risk their life savings to start a company, willing to risk whatever they have for a better future. But there's another risk today that I want to talk to you about. I want to go back to the beginning, where I mentioned the way those at the tea parties, or I'm sorry, at the listening sessions, were called AstroTurf. They were paid to be there. No, that's actually the other side that pays theirs to be there. Anybody paid to be here today? Yeah, I don't think so.
$500.
I get 50%. Now, that marginalization was intended as intimidation to try to shut them up. A good friend of mine, and this story didn't get a lot of play down here unless you listen to my show. A good friend of mine, and Heather is a good friend of mine, went to a listening session, and Heather is just a mom of four down the street. She used to be a member of the Republican Party. A liberal reporter in Green Bay did a hit job on her, called her an operative, which Keith Olbermann and Rachel Maddow and the whole left media picked up. This woman probably still receives hate mail to this day. Why? Because she went and spoke her mind. That is the other risk here today. The belief system that those on the left wish to believe is everybody agrees with the direction the country is going. And it pains them, and this is why I was wrong about events like this. It's not time to have this. Because when they see you out there, it is a painful reminder you're real. You're not a figment of anyone's imagination. Now, some of you may know I had an interesting week. I said something on the air that unions don't like. I said to vote to end your own job is like belonging to a cult. By the way, let's hear it for the Mercury Marine Union that came to the Gee, the company actually gets to run the company. What an anti-American thought that is. Now, the local union that represents Kohler employees started a boycott of my show. They said they would boycott the show, boycott the station, and they threatened to go to advertisers and say, we're going to boycott you if you keep advertising at WHBL in Sheboygan. My management had a conversation with the union leader, and the union leader said, Jerry needs to be fired. My manager said, Jerry's not going anywhere. Do not ever be intimidated to speak your voice in public. And let me tell you right now, a White House that tries to get your neighbors to squeal on you if you say something fishy is not the America I know. I'm not going to shy away. Don't you shy away. Those who share our vision of this country have to know we are not going away. We will gather in the voting booth, so to speak, speaking our mind, whatever we have to do until they know this country was not built on socialism. This country is built on capitalism. This country is built on free enterprise and free speech. It will stay strong on free enterprise and free speech. We're not going away. We won't be silenced. We want the spirit back. Thank you.